Lana thought London looked a little sad, as though the sky had forgotten how to smile. But lately, even the sky seemed cheerful compared to the Kushner mansion. The house, grand and towering, and usually buzzing with a quiet hum of wealth, had fallen into a gloom so heavy that even 8-year-old Lana could feel it pressing on her small shoulders whenever she visited with her mother. She lived with her parents in a cramped flat in a low suburban corner of the city, where the walls were thin and the neighbors loud, but the laughter inside her home was warm and full. Her parents had emigrated from Kenya 6 years earlier, chasing the promise of a better life. They were still chasing it, truthfully, still finding their feet, still learning the rhythm of a country that never seemed to pause. But they had each other, and they had Lana, their only child, and that was enough to keep them moving. During the week, Lana went to school. On weekends, she accompanied her mother, Imelda, to the mansion where she worked as a maid. Papa's work, plumbing, bricklaying, whatever odd jobs he could find, came and went like the London sun. Mama's job was steadier, and so Lana often found herself dusting corners or folding towels beside her. But the mansion had changed. It felt hollow now, like a drum with a tear in its skin. The reason was whispered among the staff. Edna Kushner, wife of the billionaire Kris Kushner, had left. Packed her things and went to the countryside. Not because she hated London, everyone does, Mama would joke, but because she could no longer find love in Kris's company. Lana didn't understand all of that, but she understood sadness. And the mansion was full of it. Kris Kushner himself was a man who seemed carved out of marble, fit, polished, powerful. He had become a billionaire at 40, after a medical breakthrough his older brother had been working on before dying in a tragic chemical spill. He had taken over and overseen the completion of the research work, the outcome of which would set him on his path to mega wealth and influence. The success had changed Kris's life overnight. He had money, fame, and power. And with that, he had given Edna everything he thought she could ever want. Everything except himself. The wealthier he became, the more he chased wealth. And the more he chased wealth, the further Edna drifted. He didn't notice the emptiness growing in her. He didn't understand why she left. Why would anyone leave him? He was 50, successful, admired. He had built a life for her that most people could only dream of. But dreams, Lana would later teach him, were not made of things. One Saturday, while Mama scrubbed the marble floors, Lana wandered off, as she often did. Her feet carried her through long hallways and echoing rooms until she found herself in Kris's study. It was a cold room, full of sharp lines and expensive furniture. The walls were decorated with photographs of powerful people, politicians, CEOs, scientists, but none of them smiled. Lana didn't like the room. It felt lonely. She turned to leave and nearly jumped out of her skin. Kris was standing in the doorway, watching her. "You didn't get lost, did you?" he asked. "Sorry," she blurted. "I'll just go back to Mama." "You're welcome to stay if you like coffee," he offered. "You?" she blurted out, scrunching her face. "It's bitter." He chuckled. "I'm afraid I don't keep juice in here, but you should hurry back to your mother." But Lana didn't move. Something tugged at her curiosity. "Why did Mrs. Kushner leave you?" Kris blinked. "Leave me? Who told you that?" "Mama said Mrs. Kushner left." "Yes," he admitted slowly. "She did. But she will be back." "Is it because you're not nice to her?" He stared at her, startled. "Did your mother tell you I'm not nice to her?" he asked her. "No, she did not tell me that." "But are you nice to her?" she asked him. Before he could answer, Lana continued, "The other day she came home, and you only stared at her from the top of the building. No happiness on your face. No smile." Kris frowned. What was wrong with watching from the balcony? He had been busy. He always was. "You should show her you're happy to see her," Lana said matter-of-factly. "Me, when I'm home and Mama or Papa come home, I run to them and hug them. When Mama comes home, Papa is at the door waiting. He kisses her face, tickles her cheek, and they laugh. But not you." Kris swallowed. "There must be times when your mother comes home and your father isn't waiting, correct?" "No, he's always waiting," Lana said simply. "He's happy to see her. Like today, when Mama and I go home, he'll be at the door waiting. We'll eat together and talk, and be happy. Sometimes we sing when we are eating. Or after eating. You don't eat with Mrs. Kushner. You don't sing with her. Kris had no answer. He couldn't remember the last time he and Edna had eaten together. Their schedules never aligned. He had assumed she understood that his work was vital. Lana left then, skipping down the hallway, leaving Kris alone with thoughts that felt heavier than any business deal he'd ever made. For a week, her words echoed in his mind. Surely no one waited at the door every day. Surely no one sang with their spouse daily, or laughed in the kitchen or sat through every dinner. Surely that was a childish fantasy. Or was it? The chance to find out came unexpectedly. He was leaving for a fundraising event when he saw Imelda putting on her coat. On impulse, he told her to ride with him. They would drop her off. The driver looked confused when Kris instructed him not to stop at the bus station, but to take them all the way to her home. The ride was quiet. Rain tapped against the windows, soft and rhythmic. When they arrived, the rain had just stopped. Imelda stepped out, thanked him, and walked toward her building. Then something happened that Kris did not expect. Her husband burst out of the doorway, waving. He jogged toward her, stepping right into a puddle without hesitation. Imelda laughed, swatting at him playfully. Then he crouched, and she climbed onto his back, giggling like a girl half her age. He carried her across the puddles, both of them laughing, both of them glowing with a warmth Kris had not felt in years. He watched, stunned. Do people really live like that? Do they really love like that? Sir? The driver asked. Shall we continue to the event? Kris shook his head. No. Take me to the countryside. I need to see Edna. The drive took 2 hours. On the way, he called the fundraiser organizers, apologized, and sent a donation. Something more important had come up. When he arrived, Edna opened the door with suspicion in her eyes. What are you doing here, Kris? I miss you, he said simply. I want to stay here with you. If you'll let me. She narrowed her eyes. What game are you playing? No game, he said. I didn't even pack a suitcase. She glanced at his empty hands, then at the car behind him. She didn't believe him, not fully, but she stepped aside. He stayed. He wore old clothes he had left in the wardrobe years ago. He helped with groceries. He cooked, badly at first, burning onions and oversalting soup, but Edna laughed, and he found he liked the sound. He waited by the door when she returned from the store. He walked with her through the countryside, watching clouds drift lazily overhead. They talked, really talked, for the first time in years. One rainy afternoon, he tried to carry her over a puddle, mimicking what he had seen with Imelda and her husband. His back gave out halfway, and they both toppled into the mud, laughing so hard they couldn't breathe. It was the first time they had laughed together in a long, long time. Slowly, they rediscovered each other. They learned to serve each other again, to be present, to listen. They remembered who they had been before money complicated everything. After a month, they returned to London, not to the cold mansion they had left behind, but to a home they were ready to rebuild. Kris never told Edna what had sparked the change. He never mentioned the little girl with the big eyes and the bigger honesty. But sometimes, when he waited at the door for Edna to come home, he thought of Lana and smiled. Because in the end, it wasn't wealth or power or grand gestures that saved his marriage. It was the innocent truth spoken by an 8-year-old who understood love better than he did. The little girl who would never understand the impact of wandering aimlessly into his home office on that fateful Saturday afternoon.